Ready for some sunshine? It's almost Christmas, so why not think about a trip? Today we're diving into Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Sounds good to me.
We've got info from FlightNHotels.com, a travel booking site, and what seems to be a travel guide.
Okay.
Our mission.
Yeah.
Let's pinpoint the can't-miss spots in Buenos Aires and figure out what makes this city so special.
Right.
Oh, and is this FlightNHotel site even worth using to book a trip?
Interesting.
Oh, also one of the top tourist attractions is a cemetery. Yeah, you heard that right.
Really?
Yeah. We'll dig into that later. It's way more fascinating than it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So FlightHotels. It looks like your typical one-stop shop for booking flights and hotels. They boast about price comparisons and deals, you know.
Mm.
Convenience is a big draw for travelers, right?
Absolutely. These sites are definitely on the rise, but always cross-check those prices with the airlines and hotels directly. Sometimes you can find even better deals that way.
Good point. FlightNHotels seems smitten with Buenos Aires. They call it the Paris of South America. What gives it that European flair?
It's more than just a catchy phrase.
Okay.
Buenos Aires has a rich history,
Mm-hmm.
dating back to the 16th century. The city's architecture is a blend of colonial and European influences.
Okay.
You've got San Telmo, one of the oldest neighborhoods. Cobblestone streets, preserved colonial houses, you know, giving you that old world charm.
Yeah.
Then there's Recoleta, wide avenues and opulent mansions. It's a bit like stepping into Paris, but with an Argentine twist. And guess what?
What?
That's where that famous cemetery is.
A cemetery is a top tourist spot.
Right?
Most people wouldn't put that on their itinerary.
I know.
Is it just morbid curiosity or something else?
Recoleta Cemetery is more like an open-air museum.
Oh.
It's filled with these incredible mausoleums, sculptures, each one a work of art.
Okay.
Many important Argentines are buried there, including Eva Perón, better known as Evita.
Evita, right. Wasn't she some sort of political figure?
Huge figure in Argentine history. She was the first lady from 1946 to 1952, and her impact went far beyond that.
Wow.
Evita championed social justice and women's rights, and she was deeply loved by the working class. Even today, her tomb in Recoleta is a pilgrimage site for her fans.
Wow. Talk about leaving a legacy.
I know.
So the cemetery is definitely going on the list. What other must-sees does our travel guide recommend?
Well, Plaza de Mayo, the heart of the city, both geographically and historically.
Okay.
It's home to the Casa Rosada, the presidential palace,
Right.
which is a landmark in itself. This plaza has witnessed some of the most pivotal moments in Argentina's political history.
It's amazing to think about all the history that's unfolded in that one place.
Absolutely. And then there's La Boca, a neighborhood that explodes with color and life.
Okay.
Think brightly painted houses, lively street art, a feast for the eyes.
Wow.
Caminito Street is the place to be, with tango performances spilling out onto the cobblestones. It's a real sensory overload in the best possible way.
I'm getting a real feel for the city's energy just hearing about it.
For opera lovers, Teatro Colón is a must.
Okay.
It's considered one of the most prestigious opera houses in the world, known for its incredible acoustics and breathtaking architecture.
Sounds like a dream for anyone who appreciates music and grandeur. What about nightlife?
Yeah.
Where's the cool crowd hanging out these days?
Palermo is the place to be if you're looking for trendy and modern.
Okay.
It's a huge neighborhood with distinct vibes. You've got Palermo Soho, known for its buzzing nightlife and unique boutiques.
Right.
And then there's Palermo Hollywood, a hub for media and the arts.
Okay.
It's where you'll find a lot of young creatives and a palpable energy.
So Palermo is definitely where I'd want to be if I wanted to, tap into that youthful, creative pulse of the city.
Definitely.
And is there anywhere that contrasts with the more historic areas?
Absolutely. Puerto Madero is a revitalized waterfront area, a striking contrast to the historic districts. Imagine scenic promenades, upscale restaurants, and a unique bridge called Puente de la Mujer. It's quite the architectural marvel.
Okay, enough sightseeing. Let's talk food. Buenos Aires is famous for being the state capital of the world.
Oh, yeah.
What makes Argentine beef so special?
Oh.
It can't just be the quantity of parillas, can it?
Argentine beef is a whole experience.
Okay.
Think grass-fed cattle roaming the vast, pompous grasslands, giving meat a distinct flavor.
Wow.
Then there's the asado, their traditional barback.
Yeah.
Which is more than just a meal. It's a social gathering, a ritual, almost a way of life. It's about connecting with friends and family over perfectly grilled meat.
It's fascinating how food can be so deeply woven into a culture.
Absolutely. And of course, you can't forget the Malbec wine. It's practically a national treasure and the perfect pairing for that juicy Argentine steak.
I'm sold. But is it all steak all the time, or are there other must-try dishes?
Oh, there's so much more. Empanadas. Savory pastries filled with various meats, cheeses, or vegetables are a staple. Then there's choripan, a chorizo sandwich. That's a street food classic.
Yeah.
Alfajores, those amazing dulce de leche sandwich cookies, are a must for anyone with a sweet tooth. And the coffee. Forget about it. Buenos Aires takes their coffee very seriously.
I'm hearing you. I'm a coffee enthusiast myself.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. What sets their coffee culture apart? Is it more like a European vibe or something completely different?
It's a unique blend of European influence with a distinctly Argentine passion. The cafes in Buenos Aires are like social hubs, places to linger over a perfectly brewed cup, have conversations, read the paper, or just watch the world go by.
It sounds like the perfect way to soak in the atmosphere.
And speaking of things that capture the soul of Buenos Aires, we can't forget about tango. It's more than just a dance.
Right.
It's an expression of the city's heart and soul. Our guide mentions El Querandi and Café de los Angelitos as top spots to catch a tango show. I can only imagine the passion and intensity of those performances.
Tango seems so deeply rooted in the city's identity.
It is.
Yeah.
Tango originated in the working-class neighborhoods of Buenos Aires in the late 19th century, blending European and African influences. It was a dance born out of struggle, longing, and passion. It's incredible how it evolves from those humble beginnings into such a captivating art form.
So it's more than just fancy footwork. It's a story of the city itself.
Exactly. And it's a story that continues to unfold every night in the Milongas, the tango clubs of Buenos Aires.
Okay, back to FlightNHotels for a sec. Do they seem legit for booking accommodation?
They do seem to offer a good range of accommodations in Buenos Aires, from luxurious options in Recoleta to budget-friendly stays in San Telmo. They seem to have something for every budget and taste.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to trade snow boots for tango shoes.
This deep dive is really painting a vivid picture of Buenos Aires.
It's a city that truly captures the imagination.
It does, but here's what's really got me thinking.
Yeah.
Buenos Aires has a complex history, even turbulent at times, you know?
How did it manage to maintain this vibrancy, this zest for life, despite the challenges?
That's a great question. And it's something we'll explore further as we continue our deep dive.
I'm hooked. Stay tuned because we're just getting started with Buenos Aires. So we were just talking about how Buenos Aires has this incredible energy.
Right.
Despite its sometimes turbulent past.
Yeah.
You know, it's a city that's faced its share of economic and political ups and downs. But the people seem to have this resilience.
They do.
A real zest for life.
True, they've weathered quite a few storms, but they always seem to bounce back even stronger. And that resilience is reflected in their culture, their art, even their food.
I'm curious how that plays out in their art forms, like tango. It's not exactly a dance known for being light and carefree, is it?
Not exactly. Tango, while beautiful and captivating, definitely has a melancholic undercurrent. It reflects the hardships faced by immigrant communities in the late 19th century.
Right.
It's a dance of longing, passion, and struggle, but it's also incredibly expressive and full of life.
It's like they channeled those challenges into something powerful and beautiful.
Precisely. And that same passion is evident in their approach to food sharing a meal. Especially the asado isn't just about eating. It's about connection, community, and celebrating life's simple pleasures.
You know, it's making me think about why we travel. It's often about escaping our everyday lives, but in a place like Buenos Aires, it seems like it's more about immersing yourself in a different way of life, a different perspective.
I think you're spot on. It's not just about ticking off landmarks. It's about experiencing a different rhythm, a different energy, a different way of seeing the world, and maybe bringing a little bit of that back with you.
I love that idea. So for our listener who might be feeling the travel bug, what's the one thing they absolutely shouldn't miss in Buenos Aires?
That's a tough one. There's so many incredible things to see and do, but if I had to choose just one, I'd say wander, get lost in the different neighborhoods, soak in the atmosphere, and don't be afraid to strike up conversations with the locals. That's how you discover the true heart of a city.
It's so easy to get caught up in itineraries and must-see lists. But sometimes the best experiences are the ones you stumble upon.
Absolutely. Speaking of unexpected experiences, remember that cemetery we talked about earlier?
Of course, it's not every day you recommend a cemetery as a top tourist attraction.
Well, Recoleta Cemetery is more than just a burial ground. It's a reflection of Argentina's history. It's art, it's culture. Those elaborate mausoleums tell stories of wealthy families, famous artists, and influential political figures. You could spend hours wandering through, admiring the architecture, and learning about the people who shaped Buenos Aires.
And of course, there's Evita's tomb, a must-see for anyone interested in her legacy.
Her tomb is a powerful reminder of her impact. Evita was a controversial figure, but her influence on Argentina is undeniable. People from all over the world still come to pay their respects, drawn to her story and her fight for social justice.
It's amazing to think that one person can leave such a lasting mark on a city even after they're gone.
It speaks to the power of ideas, of passion, of fighting for what you believe in. And in a way, that's what Buenos Aires embodies. It's a city that's passionate, resilient, and always striving for something better.
I'm starting to see a theme here. Passion, resilience. A zest for life. A deep connection to history. It's all woven into the fabric of this city.
Exactly. And it's that unique blend that makes Buenos Aires so captivating.
Well, Buenos Aires has officially moved to the top of my travel bucket list. I might even have to try my hand at tango while I'm there.
I think you'd be surprised how much fun it is. You might even discover a hidden talent you never knew you had.
Who knows? But even if I don't become a tango master, I have a feeling Buenos Aires will leave its mark on me.
I have no doubt about that. It's a city that stays with you long after you've left. So for our listener who's probably daydreaming about those cobblestone streets and the aroma of grilling steak, where should they start with their Buenos Aires planning, aside from checking out FlightNHotels, of course?
Yeah, give us the inside scoop.
I'd say start by researching the different neighborhoods. Each one has a distinct personality. Do you want the bustling energy of Palermo, the historic charm of San Telmo, or the elegant sophistication of Recoleta? Figuring out what kind of vibe you're looking for will help you narrow down where to stay.
That's a good point. Buenos Aires seems to offer a neighborhood for every taste.
Once you have a sense of where you want to be based, start planning your activities. Are you all about tango shows and museums? Or do you want to explore the art scene? Or maybe just wander and soak in the atmosphere?
It sounds like it would be easy to spend a week in Buenos Aires and still barely scratch the surface.
It's true, but that's part of the allure. There's always something new to discover. Always another layer to uncover.
I think our listener is armed with some great starting points, thanks to your expertise.
My pleasure. I love sharing my passion for Buenos Aires.
Before we wrap up this deep dive, any final words of wisdom for our listener as they embark on their Buenos Aires adventure?
Here's my advice. Be open to the unexpected. Embrace the chaos, the beauty, the passion, the contradictions. Let Buenos Aires surprise you. You won't regret it.
I love that. Be open to the unexpected. That's a great motto for any traveler, really.
It is, because sometimes the most memorable moments are the ones you never plan for.
Well said. I think we've given our listener a lot to chew on today. Tango steak, historical plazas, a cemetery that's a work of art. Buenos Aires seems to offer a truly unique travel experience.
It does. It's a city that will stay with you long after you've left.
So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into Buenos Aires. We've covered the must-see sites, the cultural highlights, even the practicalities of planning a trip. But most importantly, we've explored what makes the city so special. Its vibrant spirit, its passionate people, and its ability to surprise and delight.
It's a city that truly has something for everyone.
And on that note, it's time to bid farewell to Buenos Aires, at least for now. But who knows, maybe we'll be back for another deep dive someday. Until then, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep those travel dreams alive.
Cheers to that.
We've talked a lot about the highlights of Buenos Aires. You know, the iconic spots, the must-try foods.
Right.
But what about the hidden gems?
Oh, I love that.
For someone who wants to, really get under the skin of the city, what would you recommend they seek out? Something that might not be in, your typical guidebook.
For a glimpse beyond the tourist facade, I'd recommend checking out the street art scene. Buenos Aires is a canvas for incredible murals and graffiti.
Street art? I wouldn't have immediately thought of that for Buenos Aires.
Right.
Where would someone even begin to explore that side of the city?
There are a few neighborhoods that are particularly renowned for their street art. One is Kaufland, a bit further out from the city center, but well worth the trip. You'll find entire buildings transformed into works of art. Another is Villa Urquiza, with its eclectic mix of murals, stencils, and paste-ups. Each piece tells a story, reflects the city's social and political pulse.
So it's like an urban treasure hunt, discovering these hidden masterpieces tucked away in different corners of the city.
Exactly. And what's so great about street art is that it's constantly evolving. New pieces are popping up all the time. So every visit is a chance to see something different. It's a living, breathing art form that reflects the energy and creativity of the city.
I can already picture myself wandering through those neighborhoods, camera in hand, feeling like I'm uncovering a secret side of Buenos Aires.
That's the spirit. You might even stumble upon a local artist at work, adding their own brushstrokes to the city's ever-changing canvas.
That would be amazing. Okay, so street art is a top recommendation. Any other insider tips you want to share?
One more thought. Don't be afraid to venture outside the city center altogether.
Okay.
Take a day trip to Tigre, a charming town located on the Paraná Delta. Picture picturesque waterways, lush islands, and beautiful wooden houses. It's a world away from the hustle and bustle of Buenos Aires, a perfect escape for nature lovers.
Tigre, you say? I'm adding that to my list right now. A peaceful river delta sounds like the perfect counterpoint to the city experience.
Exactly. It's all about balance. Soak in the energy of the city, then escape to the tranquility of nature. That's the beauty of Buenos Aires. It offers the best of both worlds.
Well, I think we've covered it all, from the iconic landmarks to the hidden gems, from the sizzling steak to the captivating tango, from the vibrant street art to the tranquil delta. Buenos Aires has officially captured our imagination.
It's a city that stays with you, that's for sure.
And on that note, we'll leave our listener with one final thought. As you plan your Buenos Aires adventure, remember to embrace the unexpected, wander off the beaten path, and let the city's magic unfold before you. Who knows, you might just discover a side of yourself you never knew existed.
Until next time, happy travels.
Adios, and happy exploring.